The Philippine markets played a trick on investors, while the US markets treated investors to its best week so far in 2023. Will the Philippine markets follow suit? Let's discuss. My name is Den Slim, and welcome to another episode of Monday Market Outlook. So hi everyone, I am currently in Georgetown, Texas, enjoying my vacation, and it is a great time to be here in the US as most of the action happened in the US markets last week. With the Philippine Stock Exchange closed for most of the week, a lot of things happened in the US markets, with the S&P 500 posting its best gain so far in 2023. This is a major reversal from last week when we briefly entered correction territory. The S&P 500 rallied 5.85% to end the week back into this heavy resistance zone at 4,360. A slew of bad employment data last week sparked the markets, which also bolstered the case for the Fed to pause rate at its current levels, and the days of rate hikes might finally be over. Now let's look at last week's labor numbers. For the first time, we are seeing the labor market with bad numbers. ADP report coming in with lesser jobs than expected, 150K expected with only 113 posted. ISM manufacturing number shows further contraction at 46.7, which means that manufacturing activity is slowing down dramatically. We have jobless claims coming in at 217, better than the 210,000 expectations, which confirms the cooling off of the labor market. And to add to that, average hourly earnings down 0.2% from 0.3%, while non-farm payrolls was the surprise number. 180K expected, coming in at 150K, and an unemployment rate ticking up 3.9%. So the Fed rate decision came in with no surprises, with rates remaining steady at 5.5. It was J. Powell's dovish tone that set the mood for the markets, where we are starting to see the possibility of a Goldilocks scenario, right? So remember that GDP came in last week at 4.9%. Now we are seeing labor markets starting to cool off. So analysts are starting to see a scenario where the economy is not too hot, but also not too cold, so that it is just right? So they call it the Goldilocks scenario. Looking at the probabilities, we could possibly see rate hikes cut happening as early as May next year. Now this realization tamed the bond markets, as we saw the 10-year, 20-year, 30-year yields with a big drawdown, the 10-year especially going down by as much as 40 basis points to end the week at 4.57%. Along with that, of course, the dollar index also went dramatically down to 105. Of course, this is good news for the peso, as the USD PHP exchange rate went down dramatically also to 56.07 to end the week. So it's looking like we could see a good start for the PH markets this week. And it's also looking like a good time for me to use my credit card here in the US, as of course any transactions I do would be at this reduced rate moving forward. So hopefully it doesn't go up when I start buying stuff. Let's look at the PSEI charts. We have the index showed some promise last Tuesday when it rejected this trend line support here to form a hammer candle. But again, the Friday session showed selling pressure despite gapping up to open at 6,040 and climbing to as high as 6,080. Rallies in the PSEI were again met with sell demand, and it ended especially with a mark on close below our 6,000 support. But we will most likely open Monday above 6,000, and hopefully the strengthening of the peso and good news from the US markets can help push the index up. A good scenario would be for the PSEI to rally up to around 6,250, but we also have to take note of this resistance here. But hopefully it rallies there, makes a correction here, and eventually retest 6,375, which, if we recall, this is a very important zone for us for 2023. And this also presents us with a good convergence from our downtrend line here. Meanwhile, for the S&P 500, it would be nice for the market to pull back to 4,280 right here at this demand zone before continuing its rally to retest 4,380. Looking at historical movements of the S&P 500, especially during November and during pre-election years, we do see a small rally happening at the start of the month before it does a correction on the second week. Then it consolidates a bit here with a possible bottoming towards the third week options expirations week before we get a sharp rally to end the month. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best for this November. For the PH markets, hopefully, the BSP may no longer see the need for further rate hikes when it convenes its monetary policy board meeting this November 16. With the peso appreciating back to 56, this could just be the thing that pushes the markets up this week. I want to take some time off from our charting and news to talk about our psychology as traders or investors in the stock market. Now, ask yourself, are you a trader? Are you an investor? Or maybe you're probably even a gambler in the stock market. You buy a stock and bet that it's going to go up or even go down if you're shorting it. Now, we usually look at charts. We usually talk about buying low and selling high. We talk about swing trade possibilities, which sounds a lot like trading. But personally, while I do trade stocks, I am an investor. Now, meaning, yes, I have a certain portion of my portfolio that I really hold for long term, which means 10 to 20 years. There's also a portion of my portfolio that I trade. Like, for example, in terms of BPI, we did a swing trade for BPI in the previous months. I do have a portion of BPI that I don't trade, that I hold for a long time. So I don't trade everything. And then when we say we want to rotate out of banks because next year, banks may no longer have that much upside, what we mean by that is this year, banking stocks hold a large portion of my portfolio. For example, BDO comprises 15% of my portfolio this year. I'll reduce that to 8% next year. But I want to stay invested with BDO because at the end of the day, BDO is a great company and I want to stay invested. Now, as an investor, this means that you actually own part of the business. And as an investor, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to check up on your businesses. As an investor, you have to make informed decisions on why you're putting money into that business, right? So there's technical analysis, there's fundamental analysis, and then there's what I call experiential analysis. When you enter into a business venture, you need to go out and experience the business for yourself. For example, let's look at SMPH, Ali, RLC, FLI, and MEG. These are great property companies. Have you been to an SM mall? Have you been to an Ayala mall? Now, compare all of these malls, a Robinsons Mall, a Philinvest Mall, a Mega World Mall. Compare all of these malls. Which one do you think is the best mall in the Philippines? Right? Hands down, it's SM. Right? SM malls have the best operations in the whole of the Philippines. So, I want to be part of that business. So, I want to stay invested with SMPH no matter what the climate is. So, I will have a portion of SMPH always there, and then I'll probably have a portion of SMPH that I buy low and sell high. But you want to stay invested in it. Go out to the malls, look at the foot traffic there, and see if this mall is exciting or not. Now, if you compare SM with Ayala malls, right? You can see the difference, more or less. SM malls, you come there at around 11 a.m., 10 a.m. when it opens. There's already a line forming. People wanting to go into the mall even before it opens. That's good business. Have you went to a Mega World Mall? I mean, it's actually quite boring. You know, I went to Iloilo. There's a Mega World Mall there. the establishments there are second rate. It's just not as lively as an SM mall. I mean, have you been to a Philinvest mall? I mean, it's not that exciting. It's not as exciting as an SM mall. If we look at, you go to TradingView and look at their financials, right? You go to SMPH, you go to their financials here, right? You go to their financials here and see where the revenues are coming from. Here, you can see SMPH, mall revenues, more than half, right? 55 billion, 40 billion, commercial, hotels, and convention centers. So a large part of it is composed of their mall operations, which I really, really like. Right? On the other hand, Ayala Land, their property development comprises 79 billion, right? So it's so large with their shopping operations only at 16 billion. So you can see the difference in the business models of SMPH and Ali. I want to own both because I like Ayala condominium developments, but I don't like SM condominium developments. You want to look at businesses that way. Experience the business. Go to an SM mall, talk to the vendors there, and see how they're doing. Remember, you are part owner of an SM mall. See how the vendors are doing. Talk to the guards. Talk to the sales ladies there. How are you? Are they cutting down on manpower, etc.? Know all of these things and incorporate that into your decision making. Let's look at Figaro Coffee Group. It's a very attractive stock which a lot of stock market groups are recommending. Now, if we look at the Figaro Coffee Group business model, right, it's composed of 3 segments. Let's look at the revenue stream here. You have your Angel's Pizza, you have Figaro Coffee Group, and you have Tianma's Taiwanese Cuisine. Growth looks good for 49 million, 1.62 billion. Okay, growth looks very good. Angel's Pizza with the large portion of the revenues. Have you seen a Figaro Coffee chain anywhere? There's not many Figaro Coffee chains that I've seen. The last Figaro Coffee chain that I went to and actually tried was in BGC. I haven't seen a lot of Figaro establishments. No. Angel's Pizza. Okay, let's talk about Angel's Pizza. I ordered the pizza online, which was scheduled to arrive at 5 p.m. Right? I paid with my credit card. Angel's Pizza called me up and say it's gonna be delayed to 6. I mean, okay, that's supposed to be for my afternoon snack, but what can I do? I already paid for it with my card. Okay, fine, 6. And it arrived, 6:30, almost 7 o'clock. So what's wrong here? Right? They're cutting down on manpower. I went to an Angel's Pizza store, ordered there, talked to the people there, and sometimes you just have to talk to the people there. How are you guys doing? Right? How are you guys doing? Management cut manpower, and they're cutting down costs, so they're overworked, etc. So it may not be a good business for me to invest in, which is why I don't have Figaro Coffee Group shares. In contrast, you go to a Jollibee store, it's always full. It's jam-packed. You go to a Jollibee, you eat in a Jollibee, you experience it for yourself. Okay, is this a business that I want to be a part of? Yeah. Jollibee is a great business. I went to a Jollibee store here in the US to see how it's doing, and it's doing really great. So this is a business that I want to participate in. Next, we have GMA. I'm from ABS-CBN, right? So it's not that I'm biased, no. So, but full disclosure, I spent 20 years in ABS-CBN, so I know the industry. Right? A lot of people saw promise with GMA when ABS-CBN shut down, which is fine. That's really what investing is. But if you look at the business model of GMA and why it's not scaling, right? GMA is not a content company. They're really poor in content creation. And then they're dependent on advertising revenues. You only have 24 hours a day. How many commercials can you fit into a 24-hour day cycle with prime time just from 6 to 9 p.m. with 3-hour prime time? How many commercials can you fit there? There's only a limited commercial spots, because if you put all commercials there, nobody will be able to watch any TV series anymore. It's going to be all commercials. So there's a limit to how scalable the business is unless you create more channels. And how can GMA create more channels when they don't have a content creation culture? It's different. I know people from GMA, and unfortunately, they're not, content creation is not really their strong suit. So I didn't invest in GMA. Now look at URC, look at Monde. They are great companies. Have you eaten a Lucky Me noodle? Have you eaten a cup noodle? Yeah, everybody does that, right? And with food prices going up, that could be the next staple for poor Filipinos here. And you know, Lucky Me is such a great brand. You go to a grocery store, you talk to the cashier there and ask them, what is the best-selling instant noodle here? What instant noodle do you usually see people buy? They will always answer Lucky Me. So Monde really has a moat, no? An economic moat. It has a 90+% market share in instant noodles, no? So it's a great company to invest in. Of course, the technicals don't agree with me, but if I want to swing trade, I might as well swing trade a company with very strong fundamentals that I know is not going to go bankrupt. CNPF is also a very interesting company. If you look at CNPF here, let's look at the margins here. Let's look at the statements. Despite rising costs, you see here 15 billion in revenues with 1.2 net income. That's less than 10%. Look at their margins. It's so small, 13 billion, but despite rising costs, their margins have actually improved to 10%. Look at the kind of cost management they were able to do in order to improve profit margins. So it's a great, they have a great management team, and it's a business that you want to stay invested in, right? So, and what about A-REIT? I mean, look at A-REIT. When it came out with its offering, I actually went to the buildings and see how the buildings were doing, right? And I saw something good with A-REIT, and I invested heavily in A-REIT back when it was 27. I've been holding A-REIT when it IPO'd on 27. It went down to 24. I bought more. And I've been holding A-REIT ever since it IPO'd, and I've been enjoying the dividends from it because I saw that it had a great business model. I actually went to the place and saw that, you know, it's not only numbers and stories. There's an actual business happening with A-REIT, and I liked what I saw. So always go out and look at the businesses that you're investing in and see how they're doing. Like here in the US, you go to a Lululemon store, people are going to Lululemon stores more than any other brand here, which shows how strong the Lululemon brand is. You go to a Crocs store, it's full of people, right? And especially during inflationary times, they want to buy something more affordable. And Crocs is such a great brand. So always go out, look at the businesses that you're investing in, and see for yourself, is this something that I want to be a part of? So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like this video if you found the information useful. Please subscribe to the channel for more updates. And as always, good luck on your trades. Please manage your risk accordingly. And I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.